We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight WGN Sports on the U presents White Sox baseball. It's Adam Eaton, Adam Dunn, Alexi Ramirez, Paul Canerico and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Derek Jeter and the New York Yankees. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson. We get set to bring you the first of this 4-game set and the first of this 11-day, 10-game homestand. It's going to be a nice one. We got 4 of these guys, 3 with Cleveland. Finish it off with 3 against the Padres. So the Sox coming off that long road trip. It was 10 days, 9 games. We came back 4-5. We couldn't sweep Kansas City. We lost that ball game last night. But tonight, some good news in Chris Sale.
Chris Sale back on the mound. He left. He was 3-0, throwing the ball exceptionally well. The hitters weren't doing anything with him, but he had a tender elbow. And to get your number 1 back is like making a terrific trade. You're getting a guy back that can anchor your staff, and so emotionally for the team, this is a big addition. Factor that in with the fact that he's 2-0 lifetime against the Yankees, and you want him on the mound tonight. So hopefully he can go the 100 pitches he's supposed to go, and they can be 100 good ones, because you figure Chris Sale's going to strike out a few guys before it's over this evening.
And on the other side of that page, in the other dugout, one of the great players in the history of this game, and maybe, I've been thinking about it, maybe just the greatest ambassador we've ever had for the game of baseball, Derek Jeter.
This is his final trip to Chicago. Now, he was on the north side for 2 games and here for 4. And it's hard to believe after all these years that this is going to be the finale for him. But it all has to come to an end. And Derek Jeter playing good, solid baseball both ways, both in the field and swinging the bat. This is a guy with well over 3,000 hits. He's done just about everything you could do. He's won championships. He's been on all-star teams. And Derek Jeter will be sorely missed in this game. When you look at those numbers, you realize just how special he was. Add the fact that he's the captain of this Yankee team, and he wore it very well all of those years. So it's going to be sad to see him go, but let's hope he's over the series.
I think somehow he'll still be around in some capacity. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Now back in this original can, it's Miller time. By Ford, proud sponsor of your Chicago White Sox. Check out America's best-selling brand at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. And by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
Field. It's been Derek Jeter week in Chicago. 2 games against the Cubs and now 4 games at U.S. Cellular Field. Earlier tonight, the Yankee captain reflected on his final season and his memories of visiting and playing on Chicago's South Side.
You know, it sounds funny. I mean, I know this is my last year, but I don't ever go into this. I don't come here saying when this is my last time coming. You know, you're coming here saying that you want to try to win games. I'm sure that might be a little bit different once you get towards the end of the year, but it's kind of hard to sit around and think about something being over when it's still 4 or 5 months away from now. So it's kind of a difficult question to answer. I remember coming to watch Robin play third base here, and then I ended up playing with him years later. Now he's managing the team, so I don't want to date Robin or say how old he is, but I used to watch him in high school, so yeah, but I've been here quite a bit as well. Played a lot of games here. Ever since I remember my first year coming here towards the end of the year, and remember the pitcher Baldwin. We were both up for Rookie of the Year, and they're saying it was a big matchup, and I ended up hitting a home run that day. So I remember that from coming my first time here. And throughout the years, Chicago's always had great teams, and they played us tough, especially here.
We'll be back with lineups and tonight's first pitch after a break. Live Sports. Tonight's game's available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting, provided by 97.5 FM ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only Spanish language sports radio station. Let's take a look at how Joe Girardi's going to line up his Yankees tonight. It's going to be Ellsbury, Jeter, and Teixeira at the top, with Soriano, Solarte, and Roberts in the middle, and Murphy, Ryan, and Almonte rounded out. And the defense. Diazzi, Eaton, and Vicieda, with Gillespie, Ramirez, Beckham, and Dunn. Tyler Flowers behind the plate, and Chris Sale on the hill. 3-0, looking for win number 4. ERA a fine 2.30, on for his 5th start. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stevie, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome. And our big Southpaw's first pitch of the ball game to Jacoby Ellsbury is taken low and away. Ellsbury comes in at 272, a homer. He's driven in 14. He has 11 steals. He is quite a player. Boy, he would have really been something had he been able to stay healthy.
I would think with the power that he has naturally, although he's not showing it this early, but he would be one of the most dominant players in the game. He certainly was for a short time with the Red Sox.
There's a strike. Well, God rest his soul, Johnny Pesky, the old woodpecker. Johnny Pesky told me the first year that Ellsbury came up that he had a chance to be one of the greatest hitters in the history of the Red Sox. Ooh, good check right there by Ellsbury. Yankees come in hitting at .263 as a team with a 4.02 ERA.
Well, the Yankees just flat out outbid the Red Sox for the services of Ellsbury. And Joe Girardi, and to his right, Tony Pena, longtime catcher and coach.
There you go. And the K group down there. And here a tremendous ovation, a standing ovation for one of the great players in the history of this game. And as I said in the opening, one of, if not the greatest ambassador we've ever had for the game of baseball. A 39-year-old veteran hitting at .267 with a homer. He's driven in 8. Fastball at 94, and here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line. 375 in the gap, sent 400 straight away center. Good rip by Derek. He was all over it, just underneath it. That pitch at 95, but it was up.
Jeter's been around in professional baseball since 1992. Surfaced in the big leagues in 1995.
Checks it up on the change. So Chris got the benefit of that one. And the count 2-2. And that one just a little too low. Tom Woodring behind the plate.
Mark Teixeira in the on deck circle, one of 4 switch hitters in this Yankee lineup.
He gone. Two down.
Borderline pitch goes Chris's way. 2 up, 2 strikeouts. That's a fastball, 96 miles an hour. And Woodring says it was good enough. Jeter can't believe it.
So here is Teixeira hitting at .264, 9 homers, 23 driven in. And another guy that's been crippled up with injuries. I tell you, we talk about great managers, the ones that, your Joe Maddens and Bruce Bochy's and all those guys. You got to put Girardi right up there because he's been doing it the last few years with absolute mirrors. I mean, with the injuries he's had and the talent he's been in, the lineups he's been having to put out there on that field.
Well, this year's been amazing for him because he lost almost his entire pitching staff. And he loses Carlos Beltran now, and he's a big part of this ball club.
I'll tell you, it's just amazing. In fact, I told Joe last year, after the last game of the season, I walked the series that we played him. I walked in. I said, Joe, hats off to you, buddy. That stuff you've been running out there to be 500 was unbelievable. And that is just foul.
Teixeira's been a better left-hand hitter this year. Had many more opportunities as a left-hand hitter, as you would expect. 80 at bats left-handed, 30 right-handed, but hitting 42 points higher as a left-hand hitter.
That is high and foul. You'll have to check the outfielders on that one.
That was a sweeping break ball that he actually pulled it almost behind him.
I know it.
That was quick.
He gone. 1, 2, 3, 3 punch outs after a half inning of play. It's their guys nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
Tonight, it's Adam Eaton, Gordon Beckham, and Connor Gillespie at the top with Viciedo, Dunn, and Ramirez in the middle. Then Konerko, Diaza, and Flowers round it out. The defense and now the lineup behind David Phelps. Almonte, Ellsbury, and Soriano in the outfield with Solarte, Ryan, Roberts, and Teixeira in the infield. John Ryan Murphy behind the plate, and David Phelps on the hill. Phelps 1-0. This is his 4th start. He was a Pensman, but injuries necessitated that he moved into the starting rotation, something he did 12 times last year. The umpires for the game tonight: Tim Woodring behind the plate, DJ Rayburn at first, Jeff Nelson is at second, and Dan Bellino is at third. So after a most impressive first inning by Chris Sale and his return to the active roster, time to turn it over to the offense.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As here's Adam Eaton. And that first pitch lined hard into left field. So good speed aboard.
There is no way that Phelps is going to be able to get away up in the zone. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. Doesn't have really anything that's overwhelming, and this high fastball rifled into left field, so a promising way to start the ball game.
And there's Beckham. Gordon hitting at .276, 3 homers. He's driven in 10. He has faced Phelps twice. He's 0 for 2. Takes first pitch strike. Now field slightly to the right. They're spread out. 0-2 the count. Last 9 games we have played this team, our Sox have won 6 of them.
Well, this is a good but not great Yankee team, and they won't be great unless they get everybody back together healthy, which is a tall order for a pitching staff that's been decimated.
That's up high. Few finals, but one in particular. Texas beat the Tigers 9-2 today at Comerica Park, and for all the Texas fans, some bad news. Prince Fielder, season-ending neck surgery.
Not surprising. He took cortisone shots in his neck for a herniated disc. Usually when you take those, if they don't work, you pretty much go for surgery immediately, and that's what's happened to him.
Especially if they miss the spot. You ever had one of those in the neck?
No, I've had in a few places, but not the neck. Feel good?
Well, the guy hit the spot with me, and after that, I didn't feel anything. Prior to that, though, it was a football game. At halftime, I made a tackle on a guy, and he almost broke my neck. And it just started killing me, and the guy put a needle in there about 8 inches long right down the back of my neck and hit the spot. After 20 minutes later, I didn't feel anything. But it hurt when it was going in, I'll tell you that.
I guess it would have.
Jacks it up close, and it's off the plate.
Last year, Phelps appeared in 22 games, 12 of them starts, so 6-5 with an ERA just under 5.
Adam, short lead.
As you can see the differences between a starter and a reliever. He was thrown pretty well. That's why he was asked to start.
1 out. So with 1 on 1 out, let's check out our picks to click tonight. Demands you, our director and the crew. Well, they went with, see, he's going with Connor Gillespie and Mike Mazza, Kenny Wiz, Tom Eichstadt, Pete Catazon. Saw Pete tonight. Liz Mealer, Laura Arenas, Mary Weiss, Nick, Tommy Sheridan, and his crew. We're going to go with Adam Dunn. Gillespie hitting at .343, no homers. He's driven in 15. And this should be. Nope. Look at that. Go in there. Make sure it wasn't. They get the lead man.
Well, a nice slide at second base. Making sure there is no double play. And Brendan Ryan having to get out of the way in a hurry. He was thought about getting the throw off and then thought about preserving his knee for later play.
Did a good job. He's been there and done that before. It's not his first rodeo. So you get that leg, let it go with it, with the hit. Brendan's a good shortstop. Formerly the Cardinals in Seattle. And here's Tang. And of course, we'll always remember Brendan. Made the last out in a perfect game.
How about that second to last out?
I think it was the last one. Check swing.
No, I'm talking about the wise catch, Gabe Kapler.
No, when.
Oh, Philip Humber.
Philip Humber. Check swing, strikeout to end it. And I liked it because he was hot. Brendan was hot. Out in Seattle. Gets him on a very bad pitch, and after 1, no score. First pitch to Alfonso Soriano. Swung on, a good swing by the 38-year-old veteran. Fouls it back. He comes in hitting at .241, 6 homers, 17 knocked in.
First inning, the strikeout of Ellsbury, Jeter, and Teixeira, 3 in a row. In his last minor league outing, he struck out 11 of the 12 outs. So give a game ball to whoever made contact.
Well, we can't let him get the big hit because he struck out 14 in the last 15.
If Chris Sale is healthy, and he certainly appears to be, there's not many tougher left-handers around.
Well, in this league, if he's healthy, and I had to take all the left-handers and pick one of them, and they're all healthy to win a game, the final game for me, it'd be Chris Sale.
There's no doubt. Undefeated lifetime against these Yankees.
High pop-up. Well, the thing that very few people who are not around him all the time like you and I are and see him pitch every time he goes out there realize just what a great competitor he is.
Well, I love the fact that realizing the Yankees were coming to town, the first and only time this year, the last time Derek Jeter is going to be here during the course of his career, Chris Sale, when told that he was going to start the first game of the series, he goes, I'd love to start games like that, where there's a lot of emphasis on the game. There's a lot of people looking. Everybody wants to see a matchup of, well, Sale against Jeter. And the first round, Chris won.
Solarte takes ball one. Well, he reminds me a lot. Well, he's got a lot better stuff, but he reminds me a lot of a left-handed Jack McDowell. Jack McDowell was a great competitor.
You'd love to have those guys that, well, it's like basketball. Who wants to take the last shot? In baseball, it's who wants the ball in the biggest games. Chris Sale is going to be one of those guys. He's going to always want the ball in the biggest games.
I can't remember the year, but Jack, it was a big game for us, and Jack could hardly walk. His hips were so bad. And he went out. He wanted the ball. He went out there and he pitched and he won. And he didn't have a whole bunch.
Solarte was a minor league free agent, so he could make it for quite some time. The Yankees did pick him up as a minor league free agent, and he's done an outstanding job.
We had another left-hander way back when, who was on crutches between starts, Britt Burns. Cues it, and that ball's going to stay fair. Thank you very much. 2 down.
We got a left-hander up north of the border right now. Mark Buehrle won his 8th game today. Unbelievable start from Mark Buehrle.
Can you imagine with Mark Buehrle's competitiveness and his way he pitched and everything if he had Chris Sale's stuff?
Well, I mean, yeah, that would be a guy that he would win 25 to 30 each and every year.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chris, I'll tell you one thing. Chris reminds me a lot of in his competitive ability of Buehrle. But here is switch hitter, second baseman, Brian Roberts, another guy that, barring all the injuries he's had, could have been a great player.
He hasn't done much from the right side this year. 250 left-hand hitter, 209 as a right-hand hitter. He had some excellent years with Baltimore.
When he was healthy, he was a heck of a player.
But wound up hurting his back. And when you do it badly enough, it's going to stay with you for a long time.
Mark Buehrle 8-1 with a 2.16 ERA.
Pretty amazing. What a start.
Little three-hopper. And another 1-2-3 inning. After an inning and a half, nada.
Starting tonight, fans can vote on the White Sox Broadcast Bracket Challenge. Members of Chicago's radio and TV media will throw out ceremonial first pitches, and fans will comment via Facebook and Twitter. Tonight's matchup featured CSN's Jan Latta and ESPN Deportes' Billy Russo. Go online and visit whitesox.com/bullpen bracket for rules on how to vote.
No score if you're just tuning in. Bottom of the second. Be done. Alexei Konerko. Well, Mark Burley's 35 years old right now. If he wins his next start, they're liable to sign him to a new 5-year extension for $150 million.
Well, what he's doing is he's pitching Toronto not only into the race, but right now they occupy first place by themselves. They've won 8 of their last 11. They've won 3 in a row. And when overall you're 26-22 and one pitcher is 8-1, yes, I would say it's certainly time for an extension.
Of course, we've been a little facetious here, but the irony of the thing is they might be offering a big extension, and he might be one of the few guys that would just turn it down.
Well, he's always said that he's going to play as long as it's fun, and when it stops being fun, he's not going to play anymore. And you would have to believe that he would mean it, because at this point, knowing his family and knowing Mark as I do, the money is irrelevant to him. It doesn't really matter. I mean, he'd like to make it, certainly, but he's made enough in his life.
Well, if Mark said it, he meant it. He didn't say anything, he doesn't mean it.
I'm not sure how many stretches of games he's had better than he started off this year, because that ERA is very low for anybody, especially for him.
It's that one foul. All my years here. Mark Burley's my all-time favorite White Sox player.
He did greet each and every start with a great deal of joy. He just had fun doing what he did.
You could, as a teammate, you could tie him, but you couldn't beat him. Got him. And you can join the White Sox for a sports and marketing career fair on Friday, May 30th from 4:30 to 7. Participants will have the opportunity to network with a host of sports clubs and marketing companies. Specially priced game tickets can be purchased at whitesox.com/job.
Well, from your time with the Red Sox, I'm sure you were involved in many games against the team that's their natural rival. How intense was it between the White Sox and the Yankees game after game when they went head to head?
Well, I have to say that in my career in this game, which encompasses all the parts of 7 decades, 55 years, okay? Not too many people, Art Stewart myself, have all the parts of 7 decades. Don Zimmer has all the parts of 8.
Yes.
So, and you know how I feel about the scheduling this year.
Yeah.
They have done a terrible job of scheduling. They are not trying to protect the rivalries in this game, this beautiful game. And baseball is built on great players, great rivalries, and tradition. That's what builds tradition, great players and rivalries. I think if you had to name them in order, the 3 greatest rivalries, as that is popped up in the center field, and that is out number 2. I don't think there's any question the greatest rivalry in the history of this game has been Dodgers and the Giants.
They shared the same city.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're talking about 2 teams came out of New York.
Yeah.
Yankees stayed, Dodgers and Giants left, but they were head-to-head in every minor leagues. They always were head-to-head in the minor leagues up to the major leagues.
I think the 2nd greatest rivalry in the history of this game has been the Yankees and Red Sox. I think the 3rd greatest rivalry has been Sox and the Cubs. And if they don't do something to protect them, when we have to play the Cubs on a Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night in succession in May, something's wrong with people who are doing the schedule. And if they say, well, we have more than 30 teams, we just don't have 2 teams, they better start protecting those 3 rivalries, because that's part of the great tradition of this game. That ball hit hard by Konerko.
With Abreu on the DL, Paul is getting an opportunity to play more consistently, which should mean that that stroke is going to come back to where he would like it to be. It's tough if you're playing twice a week, twice every 10 days. It's difficult.
But at least he's dangerous now.
Yes, he is.
Earlier he wasn't. Now he's dangerous. You make a mistake on Paulie right now, he can. That home run he hit Kansas City, I'd say that was impressive. I mean, that ball was killed right over the center field fence, way over.
Yeah, 410 to straightaway center. You don't find too many that go out there in Kansas City, but both Adam Dunn and Paul Konerko last series did it. That was an interesting pitch selection. Murphy gave him a slider inside. He was trying to shave off the inside corner to a right-hand hitter. You don't find many right-hand pitchers that are going to throw sliders on the inside portion of the plate, because there is really no margin for error. You miss in there and it's gone.
We've gone over this before. The only guy I saw do it on a consistent basis and did it pretty well was Ferguson Jenkins.
Well, he could literally, it was like he was standing 5 feet from the catcher. He could absolutely place it into the catcher's glove wherever he wanted to do it. You know, you win 20 games 6 years in a row for the Cubs in that ballpark, you're getting it done. Of course, he went on to the Hall of Fame.
That ball hit hard into right center field. Nobody's going to get it, so Paulie, he's being dangerous. He got a nice pitch to hit right there and didn't miss it. Picks up his 4th 2-bagger.
Right now the visibility isn't great, and Soriano's not used to playing right field. He did not get a good start on this ball. This ball was hit awfully hard, and it's not a strike. It's out away from Paul, just off the zone. He's got to protect, and he drills this ball in the right center field.
So here's Diaza. Come on, Alejandro, pick him up. I just got a footnote here to Burley from our roving reporter Jimmy Olsen out in Southwest United States. Burley's career earnings $119 million.
Well, look, that's okay, but he'll make a few more bucks, and maybe he'll get a truck a city block long, because the truck he has right now, I'm not sure how he fits it into a gas station.
I want to tell you what, he pulled it. We came home late one night. We got in about 1 o'clock. We were going home, and I'm stopped at this railroad thing, and here this thing comes up behind me. And he blew that horn. I'm telling you, I can't tell you what it did. As that ball hit, slicing, giving chase, and it's a fair ball. So the run will score. It's a double, and the Sox lead it 1-0. Attaboy, Alejandro.
Almonte made a good effort. In fact, he did just about everything he could do. Dan Bellino on the call, and Almonte goes over in the corner. This ball continues to slice away from him. Alejandro drives in his 16th run of the year. That ball just barely fair, but all you have to be is just barely fair. It was really a good call from Bellino, and the reason being that the way Almonte's body stretched out, the ball actually hit behind him, and he was partially screened from that.
Dan Bellino's a good umpire.
He made the right call, and it couldn't have come at a better time.
And here's Tyler Flowers. Tyler at 303, 3 homers, 15 knocked in. Yeah, but when Burley blew that horn at me, I thought it was a train coming from the other way. That scared me to death.
He just showed me the gas tanks in those. You could have a multi-year contract just to fill that thing up.
It was big. Jacks it up. Two and 0 the count. Back-to-back 2-out doubles by Konerko and Diaz. And a good check by Tyler. 3-0 with Adam Eaton on deck.
Run expectancy with a runner at second and 2 outs. Sox hitters at 15%. Yankee pitchers have given up runs 19% of the time, and that's right at league average.
Taking all the way.
Well, on the disabled list, CC Sabathia. He's got a bad knee. Michael Pineda, who while he was suspended hurt his arm. And Ivan Nova, who probably is lost for the rest of the year. So 60% of their rotation has gone down, but it's not just the Yankees. It's just about every team in baseball. Injuries have been piling up on a daily basis, testing the depth of all of the 40-man rosters, and sometimes beyond.
And that's ball 4. So the first walk of the ball game.
Here's a pitching coach who spent so long on the other side of town with the Cubs, Larry Rothschild. I talked with Larry before the game about his staff and the problems, and he said he's asked all kinds of questions about why all of these injuries are happening. And like everybody else, you can't really put your finger on one thing. But Larry feels something kind of interesting, and you and I have talked about it a lot. He thinks the 75 pitch count that they keep young pitchers on when they come into pro ball is the thing that's hurting guys the most.
I think it's killing them.
That's it.
We've talked about
that's where Larry went is the first thing he said. He said that low pitch count is taking pitchers and not allowing them to get that arm strength developed. And when they get to 120 pitches, it's like, wow, 120 pitches, you got to get him out of there.
Several years ago, they did a survey signing these young pitchers who threw 90 plus up to 95, 96 out of high school. They signed to come in pro ball 2 years later. There's a base hit over the head, so here comes Alejandro. Tyler will hold at second, and it's at 2-0. Sox lead. All this coming with 2 out, nobody on. Don't stop now, boys.
Adam Eaton, RBI number 15. He's got a couple of base hits, both of them to left field. And this is a thing of beauty. Anytime you can mount a 2 out, nobody on rally and turn it into multiple runs, you consider yourself ahead of the game. Solarte went up as high as he could, and the hit parade continues.
Getting back to what Marshall was talking about, these high school kids and even college kids, the good pitchers that you're going to draft are pitching twice a week. Pitching on a Tuesday and a Friday or a Saturday. They're pitching twice a week, and they're throwing 140, 150 pitches each game. So they're throwing 300 pitches a week. And all of a sudden they come into pro ball, they cut them down to 75, 80. I think Houston was the first one to implement that 80 pitch count.
Yeah.
Everybody who signed pitcher, 80 pitches, that was it. And all of a sudden now, a year, 2 years later, their velocity is way down. Instead of throwing 95, they're throwing 90, 91.
Well, Larry brought up a really good point. If you know you're on an 80 pitch limit, when you get a pitcher to 60 pitches and he knows he has 20 left, he's just going to air it out with everything he's got for the final 20. That kind of defeats the purpose because you're not pitching anymore. Then you're throwing as hard as you can to try to light up a radar gun and impress some people.
I think the worst thing, and all Sox fans have heard me say it for years, the worst thing in baseball, the worst tool, worst implement, the tool in baseball is a radar gun in spring training.
Again, exactly where Larry went, talking about the radar gun and the fact that it's up in every major league stadium. It's up in a lot of minor league facilities, and he says pitcher will throw a pitch and then look at the gun.
That's out of play. Beckham struck out his first trip. So 2 in, 2 on. 2 out, 2-2 the count. That's the worst thing a young pitcher can see in spring training is scouts sitting behind our own scouts, and own coaches sitting behind the screen with a radar gun. Don Cooper, I'll never forget it, comes up to me one spring, says, I got a little left-hander down here. I want you to go over and watch. I said, all right, what's his name? He said, Mark Burley. Funny thing about it, there was not one person with a radar gun behind the screen because he didn't throw hard enough.
I was going to say, he wouldn't hit 90.
No.
So scouts can see that.
As Beckham strikes out. But we come up with a pair. We'll go to the third, leading 2-0.
TNTV.com, sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 36 years. To join the nation, visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
Third inning. It'll be the lower third of their order. Murphy, Ryan, and Almonte. Murphy, the catcher. John Murphy takes first pitch strike. Young man's hitting .406 with a homer and 6 knocked in.
And Cervelli went down. They went to John Ryan Murphy.
0-2. Well, he is 13 for 32. Too shabby. He gone. Four strikeouts.
Some high heat. Chris kept everything up in that at bat to Murphy. So he went away from what he's been doing most of this evening's game. Throwing the ball hard down in the K zone. They've doubled the size of it. You can still get in for a $20 ticket. You get yourself a shirt, and you get a placard with K on it. Chris Sale has delighted them to the tune of 4 strikeouts early in this one.
As that's fouled back. Brendan Ryan, 4 for 7. Since getting some action, and when we showed you our picks to click earlier, I omitted to tell you that those are brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find their fares only, online only at southwest.com. That's foul back.
One of the reasons why Ryan still has a job and probably will have one in the big leagues for some time is the fact that wherever he's gone, he's been a terrific fielder. Hasn't always hit as well as he or the team would like, but he's always picked it at short.
Watch out. He gone. 2 down.
Good straight change, and he had Ryan well out in front of it. Loses the bat and the at bat. Zoyo Almonte.
Zoilo Versailles. Zoilo Almonte.
He has a smile on his face because he's undoubtedly heard that Chris Sale throws pretty hard. So the first thing he does is throw him a straight change.
A breaking ball that could have got. Didn't get it. Jazz got a piece of it. And it's now big White Sox. Happy birthdays to a couple guys. Bob Albert, Rob Lyons. Albert,
70s
looking 62-year-old I've ever seen.
I was going to say he looked great for 70.
Not that old, is he?
Well, let me see. That's a well-lit booth. Yeah, I would say he's that old. No, 58 today.
58. 2 out and the 2-2 pitch. Just a little bit closer, and that would have been a check swing strike. Good rip right there by Almonte. He was 2 for 12 in his action with the Yankees.
Jacoby Ellsbury waiting patiently. Chris Sale has retired 8 straight.
Change up. Just did get a piece of it.
Battling at bat for Almonte. He's going to see his 9th pitch.
He gone. 6 strikeouts. And we'll go to the bottom of the 3rd, leading 2-0.
WGN.com and click on the Game Zone banner for updated stats and information. The Game Zone is powered by St. Xavier University. Tradition, innovation, this is where they meet.
Sox lead at 2-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be Gillespie, Viciedo, and Dunn to face David Phelps. 27-year-old right-hander. Gillespie hit into a 4-6 fielder's choice. Breaking ball strike.
Pretty stout for an 8-game hitting streak, hitting .433 up to date.
Shanked that one a little bit. And the count 0-2. First of 4 with these guys, and the first of 10 on this 11-day homestand. 4 with these guys, 3 with Cleveland, and finished off with 3 against San Diego. Make your plans to be with us. Good seats. tomorrow night's game. And big crowds tomorrow night, Saturday and Sunday, but seats are available. So Sox are suggesting also that you get here as quickly as possible, as far as with the winding that goes on, Steve.
Well, there's no doubt.
That ball hit hard. But that man out there can go get him.
The one thing you have to realize in this Yankee series is that this will be the last time we see Derek Jeter. There's going to be very large crowds Saturday and Sunday. Still good seats available for tomorrow night's game, which, by the way, will culminate in fireworks. But if you get here early enough, you're not going to have that logjam trying to get in. So for those who either want to tailgate late, maybe come in with 10 minutes to go, you're probably not going to get to see the first pitch. So Sox are encouraging everybody to come to the ballpark early, enjoy the goings on the field. There will be some, and enjoy the concessions. The food here is great.
And that ball hit into center field. And of course, Saturday, Chris Sale bobblehead day. First 20,000 fans going to get that. And this is MLB mandated, the winding. This is not just the White Sox. Every club. This is MLB mandates it. Everybody walks in the park is going to get one.
And if you've been to some other ballparks, you realize that it is everywhere, and it is what the future is going to look like.
So here's Adam, called out on strikes.
Well, the guy's not in the lineup, and he wouldn't figure to be against Chris Sale because you don't want to play a lot of lefties against him, is Brian McCann. McCann, another big free agent pickup. And although the batting average not much to speak about, he has 6 home runs and 18 driven in.
One and one to count. That last pitch off the plate. That pitch off the plate.
Well, a smart pitcher is going back out there off the plate and see how far that outside corner extends. Oh, he's going inside.
Well, he missed and he got lucky.
Yeah, he did get lucky. He got lucky that it was up higher than Adam would have liked. Murphy wants his ball low and in, and this ball tails out over the plate.
I wish he'd have got it low in.
Yeah.
Two, 4-0 for us. No runs, no hits, no errors for them. And that ball hit hard, but they got a man there. Scobie Ellsbury, he's good.
There's Southpaw helping out on fundamentals deck. Actually, just cheerleading. By the way, Southpaw's birthday is coming up. If you want to get him some presents or whatever, got to be at least 4.
Top of the order. As Chris Sales retired everybody he's seen through the first 3 is Ellsbury struck out, takes strike 1. And we mentioned if you're a Prince Fielder fan, he is going to be out for the season with the neck surgery. As a matter of fact, that's something because of the fact that he's been one of baseball's most durable players, missing just 13 games total from 2006 through 2013.
Well, he had a 573, 576 consecutive games played streak. It was broken when he was in so much pain that he couldn't tolerate it anymore. They gave him the shots that didn't work, and now the surgery. And same thing for Jurickson Profar. He hurt his arm, and he's going to be lost for 8 to 12 weeks, which is pretty much the entire season.
That's a good pitch. Didn't get it.
And he's one of the most promising of all their young players.
That was a good strike, and he did not get it. Count hangs at 2-2.
Nine up, 9 down, and a 2-run lead.
Yes, he gone.
K-Zone will tell you that there is 7 strikeouts, with that being the 7th, and Ellsbury tried to check it up. Dan Bellino said he went too far.
So here's Jeter. He was called out on a questionable pitch. Takes that one outside. .312 career hitter.
And picture taking of the captain.
Well, you know, it's funny how things evolve. Certain people. New York Yankees are the #1 sports franchise in the world. And whether you liked him or not, George Steinbrenner was a perfect guy to have owned that ball club. He took that ball club from it was nothing.
Now, when he took it over, they were very bad, and they had been bad for quite some time.
You know, when I first came to the league in '63, they were good. '64, they went to the World Series. '65 is he gone. 2 out. '65 they started going downhill, and it kept on going. And then when I went to Boston, when we played them, I mean, we went in to play 4 games and we didn't take all 4. We were upset. And when they came to play us, we were upset if we didn't win every game. Then Steinbrenner comes into play, brings them back up, started spending a lot of money. A lot of money actually he did not have. And there's a great book called Steinbrenner, if you're a baseball fan, by Bill Madden. Wrote it, and it is absolutely a wonderful read. As there's a strike to Teixeira, who struck out his first trip.
I talked to Bill, and it took him over 2 years to assemble that book with all of the interviews that he had to have. He had every nuance of George Steinbrenner's personality, his history, what he was all about, the good and the bad. Very well written. Bill's a terrific writer.
Three and one. And that is popped up right side, Beckham. And that is another 1-2-3 inning. That is 12 up and 12 down.
In Orland Park tomorrow night from 6 to 8 p.m. Yes, receive a photograph and commemorative autograph card. Lucky fans 21 and over can enter for a chance to win White Sox, Miller Lite, hoodies, or hats, and register for a chance to play softball at U.S. Cellular Field. That's brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer and official beer of your Chicago White Sox.
As we go to the bottom of the fourth, our guys on top 2-0. It'll be Ramirez, Canerco, and Diaza. We're getting back to a little bit of the history of the Yankees. Steinbrenner came in, brought him back into prominence. He made it an event to go to Yankee Stadium because players were good. He went out and paid them. He paid them. And whether you like him or not, they ought to put a gold statue of him in Cooperstown. But you're looking at a guy right there, guys like this. He wanted the tradition of the Yankees to come back, and he got it there.
He did that. Made a terrific draft pick out of Kent State University when he picked up Thurman Munson out of the draft. Thurman was a great catcher for some of you who don't remember. He probably was going to wend his way into the Hall of Fame, but unfortunately a tragic airplane accident as he was piloting a jet at the Akron Canton Airport cut his life short. He was a terrific. He was at the time what exemplified the Yankees for being tough, would fight you in drop of a hat, never give up, couldn't get out in a key situation. He was one of those guys you build a team around.
He was it. 1-2 pitch. Back through the middle into center field for a base hit. That a boy Lexi. Yeah, when the Yankees do well, baseball does well. And that has been the way it has been for a long, long time.
One of the things the Yankees did, and I think that's a lesson now that guys are not falling into quite as much, they used to trade away all their young prospects for older veteran players. And they did that for a while through the tough years, but the Yankees weren't all that good. Then eventually they started keeping their younger players. They kept Bernie Williams. They kept Posada.
Well, that was Gene Michael. Yeah. Gene Michael was the GM, and he was a guy who would tell Steinbrenner where to shove it.
And don't under any circumstances trade this guy.
Well, he'd tell him, he said, you trade him, you want me to trade this guy? I ain't trading. You want him traded? You trade him. And I quit. Gene Michael was very instrumental in the renaissance of the New York Yankees.
I knew Gene very well, another product of that bastion of academia, Kent State University.
Here's Paulie. Started off that 2-run second with a 2-out double into right center field. Good speed aboard. Alexei 8 for 9 and stolen bases. Watch out.
Well, he went over to first base because he saw Alexei leaning, but that appeared to me to be a pitch out. And they have an idea that somewhere very early in this count, Alexei's going to be going.
Breaking ball low and away. If you're just tuning in, 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, no hits, no errors for their guys.
Murphy looking over. See if they would like a pitch out. You just don't see many pitch outs 1-0, however. If it's 0-1, it's a different story.
Two 2-0 the count.
Roberts playing up the middle, and with Teixeira holding close, there's a huge gap on the right side.
Phelps is a prime example of a guy. That pitch was 90 miles an hour, but for some reason, there's something in this guy's motion that appears to be much quicker to the eye of the hitter, and the eye of the hitter are the real guns, not the radar. That boy Paulie, don't go at his pace. Don't be at his whim. Take over. And the count's 3-1.
If Alexei's looking for a pitch to run, this is the pitch. You want to stay out of the double play with Diaza up next.
There he goes. Alexei picks it up. Everybody converging. Soriano. So 1 out. And Sox fans all season long, you score with Papa John's Pizza. And when the Sox score 5 or more runs, you get 50% off your entire online order at papajohns.com with the promo code SOX5 the following day. So the better the ingredients, the better the pizza, and that's Papa John's. There you go.
That was a very good jump, and Murphy could not get a grip on the baseball. So that's stolen base number 9. Alexei now a 90% runner, 9 of 10. Picked a good pitch and got a terrific jump.
Pick him up, Alejandro.
Well, if you are running and you can guess curveball or a curveball thrown, means another step, sometimes a step and a half to you.
One out, 1-1 to count. Well, that's what most base runners try to do.
Guess breaking ball, get your lead and go.
And a lot of them try to get out there far enough where they can see the signs the catcher's getting. Giving. Out in front of that one, hooks it foul. Two and two to Diaz. Good pitch, got in on him. We mentioned this is the first of 4 with these guys. Tomorrow night, make your plans to be with us. There are still good seats available. Hector Nuesi against Kuroda, 39-year-old right-hander. Saturday, Danks against Nuno. And the finale, Rienzo against Tanaka. Now, the last 3 games, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, will be over Comcast Sportsnet. And another foul ball.
He's trying curves and sliders inside. Alejandro has been able to keep fouling him off. He knows where he wants to go with it, but he can't get it by him.
Jeter hanging out around second. And that is just foul. Well, I should say Brendan Ryan. It's been so many years.
You just assume that he's going to be hanging around second.
You know what? I tell you, I'm going to really. You know how I feel about certain guys.
Well, we both talked with him before the game today, and you know, he's been such a pleasure to deal with. And you know that the demands on his time from a media standpoint are enormous. But he greets everybody warmly and pretty much gives you a straight story whatever you ask him.
That's up high. He and I are walking in. We got the ballpark at the same time. He's asking me about our club, and I said, we have some good young players. He said, I know, I've been watching. He asked about Abreu. I said, well, the cannon. As he finally gets Diaz. So 2 down. I said, well, it's like, you know, almost like anybody. I said, you make a good pitch on him, you get him, but if you mess up, he gets you. So he just smiled. But the way he is, you know, he's got, especially the first game in of every series in every town he's going to be going to now, you know, everybody's. But I told him, I said, Derek, I said, I've got a friend of mine coming to the game tonight. and her sister absolutely adores you. Why don't you sign a baseball for her? I gave him the name and everything, you know. He said, sure, no problem. I mean, that's just the way he is. Just the way he is. And there's a base hit by Tyler. Alexei now is going to be held. As Amante got to it, got it back in.
Well, Amante probably has a little above average left field arm, but it was hit so hard. Joe McEwing did not want to gamble with Ramirez.
Well, if he had sent him, or if he had gone, he was going to be dead duck.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
So now 2 out, but that's the way Derek Jeter is and always has been. He is, you know, you got Lasorda, you got Cal Ripken Jr., and I was thinking about it driving in today. Derek, because the stage, New York, might be the greatest ambassador we've ever had.
I think he most likely is. Reason being that, just a question of timing, he came up at a time where it seems like every year the media scrutiny has gotten more and more. The media has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Derek has played during that time, and we talked about before the game, he's done it with grace. He's done it with ease, and he's done it representing baseball exceptionally well.
There's a shot to Ryan. That's the hang woof'em for Adam Eaton, who was 2 for 2 with an RBI. He's now 2 for 3. But we'll go to the 5th, leading 2-0. As you check out our Xfinity tail of the tape, top of the 5th inning. Chris Sale, 8 strikeouts through the first 4. Struck out the side in the first, struck out the side in the third, struck out the first 2 men last inning. And here is Soriano. It'll be Soriano, Solarte, and Roberts. That got a piece of Tyler. And Tom Woodring's going to give him a moment or two.
Soriano last year only played 93 games for the Yankees. Actually 58 games for the Yankees, and he hit 17 home runs. It's 1 every 12.9 times at bat. A very, very high percentage.
0-2 the count. Well, he has been he's been a tremendous mistake hitter in his career. You make decent pitches on him, you got him.
Good slider in the dirt might get it, but he's going with the high heat.
He gone. What is either hard high or slow low?
Yeah. And hard high worked very well.
Either one.
9 Ks as he pours that high fastball by him. It wasn't velocity, it was location. You got an uppercut swing and a fastball that's face high. They really don't mix very well.
Well, when you got the ball thigh high on him to the knee, that was a mistake on him. When you got it there, he hurt you a lot. When you didn't, you got him. There's breaking ball strike to Solarte, who hit one right off the end of the bat, a little soft ground ball right down the first baseline to Dunn. His next pitch, B, number 70.
They wouldn't put a definitive pitch count on it, but Don Cooper said that he was probably looking for around 100.
You know, Coop has more of his pitchers that have had more quality starts in the last 11 years than any coach in baseball, pitching coach. As that ball hit high in the center field. And that is out number 2. And Coop probably is one of the few coaches. Sure, he has to keep a pitch count and all that stuff, but he probably uses that or ushers that into the equation fewer than most pitching coaches.
Well, he probably wouldn't have any count on Chris Sale if this wasn't his first start back. And after missing the time that he missed, to have only one rehab start and pronounce that he's healthy and sound, and we're seeing the result of it here tonight. It's really something.
Ryan Roberts hits first pitch to his counterpart, and that's quick. 1-2-3 inning. We're halfway home. Sale leads it 2-0. Sox fans, Mullet Night is Friday, June 13th. The fun includes a pregame on-field parade, music from your favorite hair bands, and other mullet-inspired activities. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks display presented by Great Clips. Great Clips is going to be great. Purchase your tickets today, WhiteSox.com or 866-SOX-GAME.
With Chris Sale perfect through 5, as you can see, You'd like to get a couple more runs. Just take some of the pressure off.
Beckham, Gillespie, Viciedo. Gordon 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Gordon pulling his head tonight just enough. But a lot of times what causes that is something in that guy's motion.
He's not seeing them because he's swinging at pitches and missing pitches that are not overwhelming pitches.
No, and he's been swinging the bat extremely well. So it's just, again, something in that guy's motion has got him off his focus as far as picking up the release point. He's all out of sorts against Phelps.
After the high fastball, the low hook, and it's 3 strikeouts.
Every hitter's got guys they just don't. I remember Ted Williams. I asked him. I said, "Who had the best stuff you ever saw?" He said, "Herb Score." I said, "No question about it." I said, "Well, who was the toughest on you?" He said, "A guy just couldn't pick up Eddie Lopat." And what a contrast and stuff when Herb Score to Eddie Lopat.
Eddie Lopat was a better pitcher, but very similar to Bruce Chen in that he changed up off the changeup.
Yeah. And he had a nice little spitter that he showed you.
In that day and age, you can't do without a good one.
That's right.
Yeah. Nobody minded very much because everybody threw them. And if you hung one, well, you got hit awfully hard.
That's the reason hitters didn't care. And there's a shot right to Roberts. And Gillespie just barreling it up. Last time went out deep to center.
They've just started shifting on Conor Gillespie because no team shifted on him for a while. And the Yankees are playing him pretty much like they play Adam Dunn.
Well, the shift today is becoming a commonplace thing. It took them long enough to learn that shifting works.
Yeah, you can take away a lot of hits. And you can force guys with big power to stay in the ballpark if they hit against the shift.
Tank has struck out and gone out to center. That fastball up out over the plate. Pretty good pass on it for a high fastball. And there's a chopper 2 hopper to Ryan. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Phelps. Sox lead at 2-0. Top of the 6th inning in a 2-0 Sox lead. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, no hits, no errors for their guys. It'll be the lower third of their order. Murphy, Ryan, and Almonte. Murphy struck out his first trip. And that's down to Connor. Sucks it up. Pitch 1 out. That's what you like to see. The Sox fans, join us on Saturday, May 24th at 1:10 as our Sox take on the Yankees. First 20,000 fans will receive a Chris Sale bobblehead presented by Pepsi. It's Saturday, first 20,000 fans. So take us 866 Sox game or visit whitesox.com.
One of the things you used to have to watch out from Ryan was the bunt. And with that in mind, Gillespie in at the cut of the grass at third.
Ryan struck out his first time.
Well, he shortened to bunt and then took one low and in.
K-Zone down in the left field corner. Didn't get in their workout tonight. He has 9 strikeouts. Two and 0 the count. That's foul.
It's going to take a little time to get some clay out of the spikes.
Line drive. Beckham's got it. 2 down.
Zach Putnam is loosening up. As Chris now in the mid-70s in pitches. 77 of them. And hasn't had a tough inning yet, as you would expect in a perfect game.
Fastball strike at 93. Zoilo Almonte, 24-year-old outfielder, struck out his first trip.
Pretty impressive line thus far.
Stay in here. Well, you can cancel the post-game show. First hit given up by Chris Sale, coming with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th, or top of the 6th.
And a standing ovation for the ace of the staff, Chris Sale. That'll make Robin's decision a little easier.
Yeah, but it would have been the same regardless. Robin, I don't think, would have had any qualms about taking him out with a perfect game.
He would have to.
Well, he would have. But it does make it easier.
Yeah. Fastball down the middle and low. And Almonte rains on Chris's parade.
The old proverbial. He just dropped the head of the bat on it. Breaking ball, good one. Woo, nasty. Oh, and 2.
That one cut across the entire plate. Wound up on the outer third.
That was pitch 83 on our count. 82 here at the ballpark. He did not go on that one. Jacoby's mom, Margie, is of Navajo descent. There he goes. Safe. So Monty picks up his first stolen base.
He was going on first move. He guessed right. And the swipe tag at second came up a little short. Jeff Nelson on the call. Monte actually might have come up off the bag.
Well, he did. That's what I was just getting ready to say. I wish our guys would maybe stay with him a little longer on that tag.
I was going to say that swipe tag, trying to sell it is one thing, but if you stay back, you can put down a quick tag and then make sure you're there, because invariably they do pop off the bag just a touch.
Well, Steve, you're going to get more that way than trying to sell it. Yes, he did. He gone. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth, still leading 2-0.
Unbelievable for Chris Sale tonight. He gave up one hit. His night is going to be over. He's going to leave with the lead, and now it's up to the bullpen, which has been so good, to nail it down.
Well, it's the first of 4 with these Yankees. We got good seats left for tomorrow night. And then, as a matter of fact, we're going to have an oddity. We're going to have 3 consecutive day games on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So that doesn't happen very often.
No, and big crowds this weekend. You can get good seats tomorrow night. Big crowds here this weekend. Get here early. Make sure that you get your seat. Take advantage of the concessions and watch the captain, Derek Jeter, for his finale at U.S. Cellular Field.
So here we go. Adam Dunn, Alexi Ramirez, Paul Konerko in the bottom of the 6th. We have 2 runs on 6 hits. They have no runs on 1 hit. Could have been a 3-0 lead right there.
Well, he threw Adam a straight change. He was probably looking for a fastball, and that differential in speed just enough to get the big man underneath it.
Out in front.
In between innings, Chris Sale greeted by his teammates. Everybody really happy to see him back. Nobody happier than Chris Sale to be back.
Well, that's the thing. You know, we all lament the fact that the Cannon's not with us, Abreu, but believe me, he limits it more. He wants to be here more than we want him back.
He showed that in spring training when he had ankle problems, didn't want to come out of the games.
Yeah, he's played all spring.
Well, hopefully that boot will help him to get down the inflammation. I know that he received an injection. So hopefully when he's ready to come back, he can come back.
Alexei 1 for 2, a single and a stolen base. Takes it low and away. Noesi against Kuroda. Saturday Danks against Nuno. Sunday Rienzo against Tanaka. All 3 of those games will be over Comcast Sportsnet. That's into left field, off the end of the bat. Got to watch those outfielders.
Well, you knew that time by the sound that he got it off the end of the bat.
It sounded with a little thud.
Just not quite in the spot he wanted it.
Here's Paulie. Paulie 1 for 2, a double. Started off that 2-run second with that 2-out double. Hit it hard in the right center field. Takes first pitch strike. Checks it up and the count 1-1. Cleveland. Bottom of the 9th and Baltimore tied at 6. Lonnie Chisenhall's getting heated up. Lonnie Chisenhall with I believe, a game-tying home run.
Cleveland's come back a couple of times to that one to take it into the bottom of the 9th.
Brantley's been, for the most part, carrying that ball club.
He's a good player, and he's getting better.
Now time is called. And David Murphy has been an excellent addition.
Murphy coming off a bad year last year. But he found the magic this year.
Whatcha? 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him. We'll go to the 7th. The bullpen is in their hands.
97.5 FM, ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only Spanish language sports radio station. And Zach Putnam comes into the ball game. He's got a 2-run lead to protect. He's 2-0, ERA 140, on for the 13th time. Opponent's hitting a paltry 161.
Well, one thing about it, the Yankees are not saying, man, I wish I had one more shot at him. No Chris Sale.
They are very happy to see him depart.
They are ecstatic.
6 innings, 1 hit, 10 strikeouts, nary a walk.
Only 2 balls were hit hard against Chris. Last inning. So here is Jeter, 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. And there's a chopper 3 hopper. And Derek Jeter, we've never seen him do anything less than give it 100% down that line each and every ground ball he's ever hit against us.
That's what the bullpen has done the last 7 games, and they've been awfully good. 12 hits and 20 2/3, an ERA just a little below 1 3/4. The opponent's batting average, well, not real good.
Well, we talked about it before, Stone Pony. As Teixeira takes strike 1, you can define an organization either positive or negative by the way they run to first base. One play can define an organization.
Most managers will tell you that they don't have a whole lot of rules. But the one rule they do have is every chance you get to hustle, you better hustle. If you do that, you won't run afoul of just about any manager in the game.
Good try. Good movement.
This is Teixeira's good side, the left side. He's hit 8 of his 9 home runs as a left-hand hitter.
Out and around that one. Gordon trying to get it just before it got to that seam. He does. 2 down. And you can join the White Sox Kids Club presented by the University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. They're teaming up to promote a healthy lifestyle and combat childhood obesity. Members will receive free White Sox tickets and cool exclusive kids club items. So visit whitesox.com/kids to join.
You had a look at Mick Kelleher, the first base coach, with southpaw right behind him. There's a look at Mick.
Well, the Yankees got a good coaching staff.
They do have one of those.
Yep.
Rob Thompson, third base coach.
Kevin Long, the hitting coach. Tony Pena, the bench coach. Soriano fouls it away right side.
And Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach.
And Larry, former manager of Tampa Bay. He gone. Change up that splitter. Yes. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 2-0.
David Phelps pitching a good ball game.
Yes, he is.
Giving up the 2 in the second. That's been it. He's been outdueled by a combination of Sale and Putnam to this point.
Stevie, he's got a little something now. Give me some ABCs on why he can throw in this 90-mile-an-hour fastball by a lot of our guys.
I think because he established the fact that he could get his curveball over the plate. He's thrown a slider. He's a 4-pitch pitcher, and he's got a good enough changeup where you have to be aware of that in the back of your mind. If you're not aware, you saw what happened with Paulie. He gave him the changeup as a put-away pitch, and he had Paul well out in front of it because he didn't tip it with his motion. So there is some deception in that motion, despite the fact that he's not overwhelming as far as stuff.
But the biggest thing you told us right there was that he's a 4-pitch pitcher. He's getting them all over.
Yeah, and he's doing that, and doing that consistently.
So here's Diaz out in front of that changeup. 1 pitch, 1 out. He is now 1 for 3. Alejandro with an RBI double and a run scored back in the second. So here's Tyler. Tyler has walked, and he just rocketed a single into left field with Alexei on second base. Joe McEwing did the right thing in holding him at third because Almonte got to it and got it back in a heartbeat. Takes ball 1. Adam Eaton on deck.
Young man and a great hot dog.
Well, my partner is a guy who loves hamburgers.
I could use a couple of hot dogs too.
Yeah, I'm a man who loves hot dogs.
I'd do that. See, I like them char grilled, and you don't mind them boiled or rolled. Tyler's had that batting average consistently up over 300 with 5 points on it tonight. Coming in from 303. 308. Doesn't look like a hot dog to me. Look, it might be a brat.
Good take right there by Tyler. Took it nicely. And that's top foul, so 2-2. Extra innings in Baltimore, tied at 6 with the Indians. In case you're just tuning in, Mark Burley beat Boston 7-2. Burley 8-1 with a 2.16 ERA. Got him. He knew it. 2 down.
Here's our Xfinity Speed replay. And this came in the second inning. Little slicer in the left field. Alejandro Diaz, who was on after a double, scores the second of the 2 Sox runs, courtesy of Eaton's 15th run batted in. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
Adam has hit it right on the money all 3 times. Now back off. I love to watch this guy. I tell you, he is a baseball player. Our club, totally different personality when he's in that lineup. The ball hits sharply. Phelps, that's 10 in a row retired by the right-hander. Steve told you he is pitching a whale of a ball game.
On our Honda game summary, Chris Sale was absolutely brilliant tonight. 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, just 1 hit. It's a 2-0 Sox lead. And with a perfect game through 5 2/3, you'd have to say that Chris is back. Start something special with great leases and low financing on a new Honda. Visit shophonda.com or your local Honda dealer. And Daniel Webb comes into the game at 3-0. The ERA a fine 2.63 on for the 18th time. Opponents hitting just 2.24. And when he gets the ball over the plate, not too many people hit him.
Lately, just a few problems in that area. Solarte, Roberts, Murphy here in the top of the 8th. If you're just joining us, both our runs coming in the 2nd inning. With 2 out, nobody on. Konerko doubled into right center. Diaz doubled down the left field line. Just fair. Flowers walked. Adam Eaton knocked in Diaz with a single. Eaton now with 15 RBIs.
Scott Dow's getting loosened up in the pen. The advantage for the Yankees is that Solarte, Roberts, and Almonte all switch hitters.
There's a strike.
Alfredo Aceves getting ready in the pen.
And the count 3-2. sharply. Meanwhile, a nice comeback. It's a good bounce back from that 3-0 count. Sox fans, June 1st is Strikeout Stroke Day here at USA La Field, so join the Sox in their effort to raise awareness of stroke warning signs and the importance of acting fast. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/strikeoutstroke.
I know Webb is very happy, and I was also when Solarte decided to try to pull that pitch. I was up and away.
Roberts is grounded to short and grounded to his counterpart, Gordon Beckham. One time, this little guy here was one of the most exciting players in the league.
He had a great run at Baltimore. Had some big years for them.
Big base hits, too. He was not afraid to beat you in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning. Two and one.
One of his best years, 2005 at 314, 18 home runs, 73 driven in.
That ball deep in the left. We got a man there right in front of the Comcast Sportsnet sign.
Unfortunately, the wind is not blowing at all. That means that Roberts had to supply all the power. He does have 1 home run this year. But as you can see, no help. No help at all. And that one stayed in the park. Looks like we're going to see a pinch hitter for Murphy. Brian McCann. Spent his entire career with the Atlanta Braves before coming in signing a huge free agent contract with the Yankees.
He's the only catcher I've ever seen in my whole career. Minor leagues, major leagues, who would not let a hitter cross home plate.
I remember that. Yeah.
Last year.
Yep.
Carlos Gomez wanted to cross home plate. He wouldn't let him.
Carlos gets into a few unique situations.
Yeah, I've never. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Me either. I've never seen it. Only time. Outfielder deep, slightly to the right. This guy is a good hitter.
0 for 4 as a pinch hitter, however.
That ball hit into the field. Diaz stays with it, makes the catch. A nice play and a nice 1-2-3 inning for Webb, especially after falling behind Solarte 3-0.
Brian McCann stays in the game behind the plate. And Alfredo Aceves at 0-2. The ERA just under 6, on for the 7th time. And with the heart of the order due up, it would be nice to pick up at least one insurance run.
Well, Gordon is glad to see David Phelps gone, as are some others. David Phelps cranked himself up a good ball game tonight. Gave up 2 runs in the second with 2 out, nobody on.
And that's it. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 6 hits total in 7 innings.
And he retired the last 10 he saw. Gordon hits that ball deep into right field. Stretched. They look up. It's off the wall. So Gordon now is going to pull up with a leadoff double. He is so happy to see Phelps gone.
Got a high fastball. It was up. It was outside, and it was almost gone. 7's at 93 without a whole lot of late movement, and Beckham just misses, taking it out of the yard for home run number 4.
Boy, just what, 1.5 feet?
Not by much.
All right. Connor's got a job to do. He's 0 for 3, and he's hit it hard twice. They got a shift on. Hi, Papa. Get out of here. Come on back. Don't go. All right. Back in row 2.
Ronald Belisario, who is going to be, for the time being, the man to try to nail it down. The absence of Matt Lindstrom, who will be gone for in the neighborhood of 3 months, and if all goes well, they're still saying he might be able to come back and pitch, but everything would have to go just perfect for him to come back and throw this year.
It's a shame he was throwing the ball so well. 95, 96, and when he stayed on top of that slider, it was unhittable.
And he hurt it on a play coming straight in, which is really unusual. But he turned that ankle, and surgery required.
And that is popped up left side. Connor not happy with that at bat. So 1 out. And you can tee off for charity and join Chicago White Sox Charities for the Field of Green Celebrity Golf Tournament presented by Miller Lite. Now, this year's tournament will be held on June 16th at Harborside International Golf Center. So join the fun and sign up your foursome by visiting WhiteSoxCharities.org or call 312-674-5391. That's June 16th. So get yourself a foursome. There's a breaking ball strike. Tank 0 for 3. Boys, that's a big run out there. Let's try to get him in. Count evens at 1. John Rodriguez hit a walk-off 3-run homer in the bottom of the 11th inning as Tampa Bay beats Oakland 5-2.
Oakland has not lost a lot recently.
Oakland's a good ball club. Got a lot of under-the-radar players, and all they do is give you 27 outs.
They lost 40% of their starting rotation to arm surgery. Jared Parker, A.J. Griffin, and still they've come back and done a terrific job of it.
Well, right now they got more TWTW than anybody in that division. There's a ground ball. Good job by Gordon. Duarte looks back. 2 down. They got that Bobby Melvin. They come to the ballpark and they want to win a baseball game.
We've got some guys acquired from other organizations that Well, they said they couldn't play every day, or they couldn't play a certain position, whatever the case may be. They went to Oakland. Moss at first base, getting a chance and hitting just about as many home runs as anybody in baseball over the last year combined. Donaldson at third was a catcher from the Cubs. They figured he couldn't catch. They tried him at third in Oakland, and for them it's turned into gold.
Adams 0 for 3. Well, usually a player will set the tone, and if they don't have that player that sets the tone, then usually that club will take the personality of the manager. Well, they've had a player that set that tone, and that's Donaldson.
He's been just outstanding for them. Two 2-0 the count.
First base is open with 2 out. Beckham at second. Alexei on deck, so we'll see what his thoughts are. Three 3-0. Too much time. Now he wants to talk with McCann. Well, he does. Pittsburgh has defeated Washington 3-1. Miami beat the Phillies 4-3. Bottom of the 10th, 6-6 tie. Cleveland at Baltimore. And tomorrow night here, Noesi against Kuroda. So make your plans to be with us. Still good seats available.
I'm sure that McCann went out there and said, 3-0, this guy is swinging for sure. But he wasn't expecting a straight change.
On the outside corner.
That's what he got. And if you get the 3-0 green light, it doesn't mean it's a must swing. A pitch you just couldn't handle.
That's why you can't give a green light on 3-0 to some guys. They think so. When you give them 3-0 green light, it means swing.
Let it all go.
And there's a base hit. Thank you very much. They gave him a chance to hurt him, and he hurt him. It's 3-0.
Well, it's another straight change, and I'm still very surprised that they pitched to Adam in that situation. Once you get down 3-0, even if you throw him a couple of straight changes, and the second was a good pitch. I mean, it's a straight change. It's down and outside, but Adam's a run producer.
Well, and he may have been just sitting on that changeup again. He knew he wasn't going to get a fastball down the middle.
Take it down the line. That's a big, big base hit.
Indeed it is. And here is Alexei. Alexei 1 for 3 with a stolen base. Yeah, you get as a hitter, especially a strong guy, when you know you're not going to get the fastball, you sit on a certain pitch. If the guy's got a good changeup, you sit on it. If he's got a good curveball, you sit on it. If he's got a good slider, you sit on it. On the outside edge of the outside corner. All right. The 2-1 pitch. Now, with Konerko on deck, Alexei in the catbird seat. Three runs on 8 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs on 1 hit, no errors for the Yankees here in the 8th inning. And there's ball 4, and here comes Paulie. All of our runs have come with 2 outs. So don't stop now, boys. As Paulie started off that 2-run second with a 2-out double. Gap in left center. Well, here comes Rothschild. Well, Stevie, you and I have both been around long enough to be decent in the terms of baseball parlance. Body language readers.
Yes. To me, it doesn't look. It looks like a Simmons doesn't want to let the ball go.
I'm not talking about him.
That's what.
But that
like
too.
Yeah.
That too. What I'm pointing at is it seems to me like Paulie and Adam have been rejuvenated with the youngster and the energies we have in this ball club.
Well, there's no doubt, both in different situations. Adam in the last year of a contract, he wants to play longer. Paul realizing that this is going to be the last year for him. And I think regardless of how it plays out for both of them, they both want to go out this particular season and do everything they can to help his team win. At least know after the season's over he didn't leave anything in the bag. And Adam has done a terrific job, and Paul is now getting his opportunity to start swinging the bat.
That's right. They've been a little rejuvenated with energy from young blood. We talked about it at the end of last year that this club had to get some young blood, and Rick Hahn went out and did a terrific job. Attitude, energy. Pops it up, and it's going to just be out of play.
Teixeira got there, and fortunately that ball drifted barely away from him.
Well, he's a good first baseman, and he had quite a ways to go for that. Even if he had got there a little quicker, he still wasn't going to catch it. Two and two. Good pass at that one. That one at 93.
Well, Simmons does not want to come in with anything. fourth pitch was a terrific curveball down. They tried to heat him upstairs and couldn't quite get it by him.
Don't do that, attaboy, Paulie.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. McCann went through 3 sets of signs, went back to the original sign that he wanted. Finally, Aceves said it was okay after trying to hypnotize Paul.
That's into right field, Soriano. But a big base hit by Adam Dunn. Knocks in Beckham, who almost went out of here with a homer to right field. We'll go to the ninth, leading 3-0.
Got a couple of changes as Moises Sierra takes over in right field. And Ronald Belisario with just 1 save in 2 opportunities. ERA .415. And Brett Gardner is going to come on to be the first man that he faces.
With Ichiro Suzuki on deck. So the speedster, the center fielder, outfielder, Brett Gardner. Three 8-0 for our Sox, 0-1-0 for their Yankees. Count evens at 1.
One of the reasons why it's so difficult to close if you're not used to it is you're going to face, if you're a right-hand closer, you're going to face the best left-hand hitters they have off their bench in save situations.
And the count 1-2. That pitch right there. Ball gets away. Throw him out. Yes! Nice recovery. 1 out.
Some great late movement from Belisario. As you can see, that ball just diving away. Tyler has a presence of mind to take his time. Doesn't have much of an angle. But Adams sets up perfectly on the foul side of the bag, and that's what you have to do to make that play. You set up any place else, and you're not going to get the baseball.
If he sets up straight towards,
no,
he ain't going to get it.
They don't get him.
He's got to get out there and get the angle. So here is Ichiro. And fans, follow every White Sox game with MLB.com ad battle on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, and more. So visit WhiteSox.com.
Ichiro 2 for 3 as a pinch hitter this year.
3 for 4. That, my friends, if you're just tuning in, is their second hit of the ball game. And here is Ellsbury. He is very happy to see Chris Sale not out there 60 feet 6 inches away.
Well, you don't find a lot of left-handers that play when Chris pitches, and the reason why is the 3 strikeout swinging from Ellsbury.
Takes ball 1. I remember the first at bat I saw Joe Mauer have off Chris Sale. In all the hundreds of at bats I've seen him have, that without question was the worst at bat I've ever seen him have. That ball into left center field. Yes. Ichiro gets back in. Yaza stayed right with it.
Good play by Alejandro, because that was not up and out of the lights. That ball had lost in the lights written all over it. He was able to stay with it, and then with Ichiro getting very close to the second base bag, he's fortunate to be able to get in ahead of the throw.
And you see what he did. That's just smart base running right there. When he went back in hard, he kept his hand on the bag. He knew his foot was going to come off, or if it didn't, he might get hurt. So here is Jeter. Derek is 0 for 3. They're going to give him second base. That is not a stolen base. It's indifference. He doesn't do many things as far as the mental part of baseball on the field. Bad, Ichiro.
He hasn't since he came in the league.
2-0 the count. And he might be just about as good as any right fielder you've ever seen.
Well, if you're Ronald, just throw it down the middle and see how far he can hit it.
There's one.
Reason being, you just assume that see Teixeira from the left side representing the tying run.
Three and one. No, you don't want to see Teixeira with 2 on. There's strike 2. Good pitch. Right at the bottom of the zone.
Derek is lobbying for the next pitch, because this one is a pretty decent strike. What he's telling Tim Woodring is, boy, that one was low.
He's telling him one of those two was a ball. Either the first one you called or the second one you called. And the payoff pitch. So we're going to see Teixeira as the tying run.
Out number 27 is a difficult out to get, especially for a guy that is not used to it. Ronald has 5 lifetime saves. Alexi comes on to talk to him.
Teixeira has seen Bella one time, and he is 1 for 1. Takes first pitch strike. Three 8-0 for our guys. 0-2-0 for their guys. Here in the top of the 9th with 2 out, 2 on. And the count 0-2. All right, give me a sequence here, Stone Pony.
I just keep pounding him low and away until he rolls over one and grounds out to end the game or just misses it. But I don't want to mess around inside, something that he can pull. That one slipped out of his hand, as we've seen happen to Belisario, maybe trying to get a little too much on the slider. I don't think he wanted it there. That was right down the middle.
He got away with it.
And he did get away with it. Tyler wanted it outside and couldn't get the glove there. That's some semblance of a splitter. And the 2 runners move up.
So the shift is on. And that's going to score a pair, and it's a 3-2 ball game. So that Adam Dunn base hit, huge.
RBIs 24 and 25. And it's a 1-run game. He just kept going slider after slider. And Teixeira took it right back up the middle, drove in a pair. Out number 27.
And here's Soriano. 0 for 3 tonight.
Kelly Johnson comes on a pinch run for Teixeira.
Two and 0.
And it's a 3-1 count. It's Solarte on deck. He'll turn around and hit from the left side.
And the count goes full. And this ball game is over.
Tyler can't handle it, but he's able to knock it down. And Soriano believes he earned the walk. Fortunately, Tim Woodring says he didn't. Game over.
Sox take the first. And we'll be back.